Are you not entertained? What is up, awesome people of the internet? College women's basketball is back, and aren't we all happy about it? I know I am. We just wrapped up week 1, and a lot happened. We got some amazing freshmen that are doing their thing. We got some surprise victories, and we also have some surprise defeats. And we got a whole lot of overall excitement for the women's game. And let's get into it. So some big games of the week include South Carolina defeating Notre Dame in Paris. Now this game was filled with huge freshman play. You had Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo, who was just lights out. You had Malaysia Fulwiley, who was a walking highlight reel. If y'all don't know, now you know. South Carolina is going to be a very, very dangerous team this year. They're scary good. And also, Olivia Miles, y'all, when she gets fully healthy, y'all better watch out because it's going to be an interesting 1-2 punch of Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles for Notre Dame. Number 21, USC beat number 7, Ohio State. The Juju Watkins era has arrived at USC, and it's going to be a very amazing 4 years to come. Y'all, Juju had 32 points in this game, and it wasn't just all about her scoring. It was her ability to rebound, defend, and kind of just do it all for USC. And y'all, Raya Marshall is also looking pretty good. This girl had a whopping 17 rebounds to go along with her 18 points. Now, it was a really good game, and it wasn't like Ohio State played horrible because I don't think they did. I think they just had a bad shooting night, and defensively, they just couldn't really stop what USC was doing. USC is much, much, much better than we thought. We had number 1 ranked LSU that just got demolished by number 20 Colorado. This was a surprise to a lot of people, including myself. And if y'all don't know the names, Frida Foreman, Jalen Sherrod, and Annette Von Lay, y'all better get to know these names. Because first, I say, where have you been? Because these players were on the team last year. And, Colorado was a Sweet 16 team. They're a good team. And second, I would say y'all need to remember these names because we will continue to hear these names throughout the season, especially as we get closer to the NCAA tournament, because from where I'm seeing, Colorado is looking pretty good. We also have unranked NC State that defeated number 2 UConn. Y'all, Sanaya Rivers is that girl, y'all. NC State is her team. And she has fully embraced ownership of the team. And y'all, she was lights out. She had a whopping 33 points. She didn't even know how many points she had when Holly Rowe was interviewing her. She had no idea. 33 points, and she had 10 rebounds. Also, Isaiah James is legit as well. She had 18 points in that game. And to think both of these players are just juniors. So just imagine how good NC State is going to be for the next 2 years. Y'all, it's pretty exciting. Both UConn and LSU are looking super suspect right now. Both teams, are 2-1 respectively. And they lost games that they should not have. They have no business losing these games. But y'all, if y'all caught one of my live streams, y'all heard me talk about teams not being scared of the Giants anymore. Like, no one's scared. No one's scared to play LSU. No one's scared to play UConn. No one's scared to play South Carolina. Y'all have to play every game because any team can get got. You have to be on your A game at all times. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting like LSU and UConn losing a game that you shouldn't be losing because y'all didn't play as hard enough. Y'all didn't take this team as serious enough. Y'all, this is going to be an epic NCAA season. Like, from week 1, we can just tell this season's going to have a lot of drama. And from a fan perspective, this is going to be pretty fun. Pretty fun. Let's talk a little bit more about NCAA play. And let's first actually start with the Pac-12. So the Pac-12 is the only league in the country that went a perfect 100 throughout the first week of play. It was like over 20 something games played over all the teams in the Pac-12, and y'all, they won these games. They're straight 100 perfect for the week. And again, this league will not exist next year. The Pac-12 will be gone. You can thank football for that. But y'all, what a way for the Pac-12 to go out for this team, for their conference to be this dominant. Yes, it's only 1 week, so you can't read too much into it, but like, it's still kind of cool to say that the Pac-12 is a perfect 100 for week 1, because there's a lot of games that was played last week, and they're still 100. So some of the big games to note in the Pac-12, it was Colorado's surprise blowout of the champs. It was USC defeating number 7 Ohio State, and others. Like, it was also Stanford, beating Indiana as well. The question is, will the Pac-12's winning record continue? No, not as a perfect 100. They're eventually going to lose. But it's kind of cool to see this as the last hurrah for the Pac-12. Like, I'm really hoping that the Pac-12 as a league just has a very successful season, because you want, if they're going to go out, you want them to kind of go out on top. Will they win someone in the Pac-12 win the championship? No, I don't think so. But if someone can get in the Final Four, I think that would be kind of cool. But we'll see. All right, now over the weekend, Coach Yo from Ole Miss posted a video on Twitter that really got me thinking about rankings. She has an argument that teams should not be ranked at the start of the season. And honestly, she kind of has a really good point. Here is some of what she had to say.
The most proud I was when we finished the season last year ranked. I thought we had a body of work and we was able to show what we were able to do. I don't believe that there should be rankings before at least 2 weeks into the season. I don't believe it. I understand why people do it. I am flattered that people gave us a compliment and said, you should be here. But I just think with the transfer portal, with all the newness, everything that's going on, right now these games are giving March Madness. Let me tell you what I mean about that. It's one game. And on that one game, a team is either going to show up or they not. Especially teams that's not ducking smoke. For example, and I roll with Ole Miss, okay? But the Colorado LSU game, how much we going to put on that? Like, how much, y'all? Like, what is that going to matter in the grand scheme of things? Now, it's going to help Colorado if they continue to play well, have a good seeding, and if they continue to play well and have a good seeding, yes. Was JR excited? Yes. I talked to her. But I don't think it has anything. It does not complement the body of work that LSU would do. You look at UConn. They ain't had that team forever. Shout out to NC State. Great win. I'm a Sanaya Rivers fan. I thought she balled out. But what does that really mean for UConn? That don't mean nothing for UConn. And I just think, it's way too early to be saying, this team's going to be trash. Let me give y'all some stats. Last year, Iowa lost 3 non-conference games. Went to the championship game. Tennessee lost 6 non-conference games. Went to the Sweet 16. Louisville, I think they lost 5 non-conference games. We say we want to, non-conference is for teams to figure it out. And some teams figure it out before others. And that's just what it is. So that's what I wanted to say. I ain't want to say such and such shouldn't be ranked or nothing. I don't think anybody should be ranked. I think teams should be allowed to play. And if the voters were really serious about like putting people in the right position, then give it a couple weeks and then go from there. Because last year they put us as an 8 seed, and ask Gonzaga and Stanford, we weren't no 8 seed. But why did we get an 8 seed? Because they decided in the beginning we shouldn't be ranked. Give people a chance and time to prove and look at who they playing and stuff like that and go from there. That's what I had to say, and that's why I couldn't tweet it. But I love everything that's going on in the game of basketball. Like, parity is definitely here. Women's basketball is blossoming and grooming, and I am here for it. But I just think, like, we got to be careful talking about who should be ranked, who should not be ranked. It's just too early. That's my 2 cents. Love y'all.
So yeah, she had more to say than that, but I'll leave a link in the description below for y'all to watch her entire video. While I love the fact that we have preseason rankings, like I totally understand her argument, and I think it makes sense. We shouldn't take too much stock into these preseason rankings because, there was no body of work for the people who did rankings to really use, because there were so many transfers and so many players who were injured who are now available, and so many new freshmen that, like, as we saw, the AP rankings were pretty bad. Like, you had number 1 and number 2 losing to one team that was unranked and another team that was 20. So from a preseason ranking perspective, like, this year has been terrible. They were very off. And I understand Coach Yo's perspective that, okay, we probably shouldn't even be ranking these teams in the preseason, because you just don't know really what these teams have to offer, because they have so many new players. What do y'all think about what Coach Yo said? Let me know in the comments below. All right, y'all, Aaliyah Gayles is officially back on the basketball court. For the first time, she played a game in 574 days. Like, it's a long, long time. In 2022, Aaliyah was shot multiple times. She had fractures in all 4 limbs, and she had 18 bullet holes in her body. It's incredible that she was even able to make it and survive that shooting. The shooting happened at a house party just after, a day after she played in the Jordan Brand Classic. And at the time, y'all, Aaliyah was number 8 she was number 8 in the country. She was the number 8 recruit in her class. And, she got shot in a very horrific way. She ended up signing her national letter of intent to USC from her hospital bed. And she vowed that she was going to play for USC. She eventually learned to walk again, and she began her journey back to the basketball court. And the journey culminated yesterday when she checked into the game with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in the game, to a huge crowd of applause, cheering her on and really acknowledging the journey that she has gone on these last, year and change to make it to this point.
And there she is, Aaliyah Gayles, checking in for the first time in a USC uniform. Shot multiple times back in April of 2022, had to learn how to walk again. Told Gottlieb just to get her to USC, and she'd do the rest. And 19 months later, here she is making her USC debut.
Y'all, she's went through a lot, After the game, she said, "It felt good. It boosted my confidence a little. I feel like I was back to my old self." So y'all, shout out to Aaliyah Gayles for realizing her dream of getting back on the basketball court and fighting through all the hurdles that made this triumph happen. Like, shout out to Aaliyah Gayles. Like, that's crazy awesome. Like, regardless of whatever she does on the court, the fact that she's able to make she was able to make it to yesterday's game, like, is just truly amazing. Truly amazing. Shout out Aaliyah Gayles. All right, y'all. Introducing a new segment. This one is called Dang. This week, we're going to talk about a lot of offense that happened that really made me say, dang, man. All right, so let's get started with former Rutgers player and WNBA player Aaliyah Gayles, who put this girl on skates, y'all. Now, this was during a Olympic pre-qualifying match between Puerto Rico and Colombia. Now, to be fair, it looks like Aaliyah might have kinda used her forearm to get some leverage over that girl and make her fall. But y'all, either way, y'all, this is just straight up nasty. And it probably is a play that this defender will never, ever live down, because we got video and we got a high-res photo to show for it. Dang, Aaliyah, you did that girl dirty. Dang, y'all. Malaysia Full Wally is that girl. Y'all, look at this. Malaysia had the razzle-dazzle layup that got the basketball world all shook. And to think, she said she's been doing this since high school. She's been doing the same move since high school. High school, y'all. And to think this girl is just a freshman and she is letting the world know that she is here. And of course, after a move like that, you gotta flex on them. And y'all, while that layup was showtime, this girl can pass. Look at this no-look pass. Right on the money. If her first game at South Carolina is any indication, South Carolina fans got 4 more years to enjoy this play from Malaysia Full Wally. Dang, y'all, this Malaysia Full Wally era is here. Dang, this is a good buzzer beater. Again, y'all, we are continuing with a whole lot of offense, and for this one, I got another one from none other than Virginia Tech's own Georgia Amore with this amazing buzzer beater. Now, y'all, this was my reaction live during the game when she did this.
Virginia Tech with the ball, Amore with the three. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Georgia Amore. Wow. She just made a half-court shot at the buzzer, y'all. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now that was pretty nice. Georgia Amore with the 3. Bang, bang, bang.
Dang, Georgia Amore got some range, y'all. And finally, dang, Dawn Staley, if you was watching that South Carolina versus Notre Dame game in Paris, right before the broadcast was over, we saw this. South Carolina was taking pictures, and then this happened. Dawn Staley smacked one of her players' hands because she was sort of doing gestures. And like, I saw a small amount of people online who had a problem with Dawn doing this, but I love it. It's clear that Dawn pays attention to how the media might portray her players, and I love it. Like, she was like, nah, we not doing that. We gonna get a clean, awesome shot of all us smiling and whatnot, and we gonna have a good time in Paris. Like, I don't need anybody construing what you doing, you know. Like, I really love that. Like, it really shows that Dawn Staley really cares about the image of her players, and to me, like, that was pretty awesome. But at the time, I was like, dang, Dawn. She was quick to smack that hand with that paper. Like, Dawn Staley, it's clear that Dawn Staley told them must have told them before that game to not do nothing like that. Yeah, y'all see Raven's expression right after. It's pretty funny. It was really funny. Shout out to Dawn Staley for that. Like, that's, you know, to me, I thought that was a great coaching move. But dang, Dawn, like, you fast with that paper. All right, y'all. Now let's move on from the NCAA and talk about the WNBA. So we have the expansion update for you. The WNBA's expansion to Portland was just about a done deal until it wasn't. It was announced earlier this month that the WNBA has deferred Portland as an expansion site for 2025. In a letter to Senator Wyden, League Commissioner Kathy Engelbert cited the renovation of the Moda Center, which is where the Portland Trail Blazers play, as the reason for deferring. But is this the real reason? No, I don't think so. Because according to the Oregonian, the Portland Trail Blazers and owner Jody Allen had agreed to put off renovations to allow the WNBA franchise to play at the Moda Center for multiple seasons before they began construction. And also, the renovation of the Moda Center has been known for almost a year now. And because of that, I don't believe that the Moda Center construction really was the real reason why Portland isn't getting a team, especially since this was basically a done deal last month, which makes me think that the reason that Portland is not getting a team is due to Portland entrepreneur Kurt Brown, who was the guy who was sort of bankrolling this entire expansion. Either Kurt had a huge disagreement with the league about something last minute, or Kurt Brown decided financially that now was not a good time to buy the team. And a huge portion of Kurt Brown's money is tied into his company, Zoom Info. This is sort of like a business information selling company. Like they sell phone numbers and emails for different companies in the country. So that's what Zoom Info does. And the company was super successful. They went from selling $51 a share last year, I should say, to selling at $12 a share this year. So it's likely that Kurt, was seeing his net worth shrink a little bit and kind of got cold feet, about actually getting his own team. But regardless, whatever the reason is, there being some sort of insurmountable disagreement or finances being an issue, it's clear that the league does not want to put bad press on Kurt's name. They're trying to keep his name out of it as the reason for this deal not happening. Instead, they decided to blame the Moda Center construction as an excuse, which it's not really an excuse because they knew this. Kathy Engelbert and all the WNBA executives, they knew that the Moda Center construction was happening, and they knew that the Trailblazers agreed to allow them to play at the Moda Center for 2 years before construction actually started. So they're saying the Moda Center, but it can't be the Moda Center. It has to be something else because they knew this. They knew that this was a thing. So what are y'all thoughts about this? Do you think that the WNBA is saying the truth? Like, yes, it is the Moda Center. Or do you think, like me, that there must be something else going on and they just don't want to tell us? And it's probably something with Kurt going on because his name isn't out there on this announcement at all, even though he was the guy who was bankrolling all of this. And also, he has not commented on the situation since that announcement was made. So yeah, let me know y'all thoughts about this. If you want to learn more about this Portland debacle, I would highly suggest for you to check out The Next, The Atlantic, and CBS Sports, who all did sort of stories about it. So check those sources out because you'll find some really good information. I kind of summarized it, but if you want to go a little bit more into detail, you can just read one of their pieces. All right, moving on. So yesterday, ESPN Films premiered Candace Parker's Unapologetic. The documentary explored Candace's personal life and her basketball career, and in my opinion, this thing could have been 4 hours long, and it still probably wouldn't have been enough to really, really go in depth about Candace Parker's basketball journey and truly what it means. But it did kind of make me feel like this is probably Candace's version of saying goodbye to the game of basketball. And I know she said that she will play next year if she's healthy. However, I feel like this is probably it for Candace. because, you usually see documentaries when the player is done. Like the player's done and then you see a documentary about their life. The fact that Candace Parker has a documentary right now, even though her basketball journey technically isn't over, makes me feel like her basketball career is over and she's just not telling us. Or maybe she still has a little bit of doubt, so she's not announcing it yet. Like, I feel like it's over. And it makes me really sad because, Candace Parker is a player who has meant so much to the game of basketball, and so much to me. Like, I've been a huge Candace Parker fan for, a long time. And I really hope that Candace plays another season because she deserves a farewell tour. Like, Candace Parker deserves an opportunity to go to the different cities of the WNBA and to experience the love that fans have for her. Candace Parker is one of the biggest names ever in women's basketball. And I want, her to be able to get that love from the fans by doing a farewell tour. I hope she comes back for another year. We don't know. I feel like it's it. I feel like this is it. Personally, I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, that documentary really makes me feel like this is it. But we'll see. If you watch the documentary, let me know your comments in the comments below. I might do an actual recap of the documentary, but it's a lot to cover, so I'm not quite sure if I really want to do that. And if you want to see that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you want me to make a actual recap of the documentary. And if you missed the film live, you can actually catch it on ESPN Plus on demand. All right, y'all. Now for this week's edition of In the History Books, where we go way back into time. And this time, we're going to January 26, 1975. Now, on this day, the Maryland Terrapins played the Immaculata Mighty Macs at Cole Fieldhouse in College Park. Now, many of you are probably like, who cares? Whatever. This is just a rando game. Well, what makes this game important is the fact that this game, yes, Maryland got blown out. I might add. This was before Maryland was actually really good at women's basketball. This was the first nationally televised women's basketball game in the United States. That's why this game is so important. And to thank y'all, we have Maryland to thank for this game. Maryland sold the broadcast rights to Ms. Lou, and then Ms. Lou Television produced the game as a broadcast and sold the broadcast rights to more than 100 networks around the country, which was a huge deal at the time. And again, the first time that this has ever happened for women's basketball. Now, this was a huge risk to Ms. Lou to financially make this thing happen. But Ms. Lou's then executive director, Vincent Piano, said, "I'm extremely bullish on this. It's a harbinger for things to come in women's sports." And y'all, Vincent was right. This was the start of things to come for women's basketball on television. But this game was a rough sell. And according to Victor Piano, who produced the game, produced the broadcast of the game, he said that it was perceived as a dismal failure from a financial standpoint because they just couldn't get the advertisers to support it. And while the station itself didn't make any money from this game, they tried something new. And they etched themselves into history while they were at it. Now, back to the actual game. So as you can see from the game footage, it's pretty grainy. Shout out to Immaculata for posting this game on YouTube. I'll link it below if you want to watch the whole thing. One thing to know that the refs are wearing skirts. And if this game was in 1974 instead of 1975, the Mighty Macs would also have been wearing skirts. It was a thing at that time. The game itself was pretty one-sided. You had a final score of 80-48. Immaculata destroyed Maryland. The score was so dismal because Immaculata dominated the 70s when it came to women's basketball. I will do a future edition of In the History Books specifically about Immaculata because this team was awesome. Like they were a big time team that even played at Madison Square Garden, which was unheard of for women's basketball. Like Immaculata was awesome at the time, so I will for sure cover them in a future episode. Then Maryland assistant coach Chris Weller said about the game, "My recollection of the game is that we got killed and that my mother called to say and told me that she saw me on TV. She said I looked good in my green suit, but I should have smiled more." That sounds like a mom. It's kind of cool to kind of watch this first ever nationally televised game and to look at some of the games now this past weekend and just see how far women's basketball has gotten. You have women's college basketball games now on just about every single major sports channel, and they're bringing in millions of viewers. It's kind of amazing, y'all. It's kind of amazing how far women's basketball has come. All right, guys, that is the segment. What do y'all think? Have you ever heard about this game before? What do y'all think about how far the women's game has actually gone and how far more we will go in the future to where, in 30, 40 years from now, people are looking back at this time and saying, wow, look how far we came from that to where we are today. Like, it's kind of cool how things just really rapidly progress over time. It's, shout out to Immaculata and the Maryland Terrapins who played in that first ever televised game in 1975. All right, y'all, and if y'all liked this, please hit the like button. That would greatly help send more people to this video. Thanks in advance. All right, guys, now for overseas talk. So 2025 will be the 40th edition of Eurobasket, Europe's biggest women's basketball tournament. The tournament happens every 2 years, and in this tournament, the top 16 countries in Europe battle it out to see who is the greatest. In 2021, Serbia won, and in 2023, Belgium were the winners. Winners not only get a cool-looking trophy, but Eurobasket can also serve as a qualifying tournament for the Olympics. For example, the top 5 teams from the 2023 Eurobasket received entry into the 2024 Olympics. So while the next tournament won't actually happen until 2025, qualifiers have already started. So 36 teams around Europe are participating in Eurobasket qualifiers. Qualifying games take place across 3 windows. The first one is this month in November of 2023. The second one is November of 2024. And the third is February of 2025, which is when the final round would be confirmed. Participating teams are split into 9 groups of 4 teams. Group I automatically qualifies for Eurobasket because all 4 countries in Group I are hosting the tournament. So, of course, the host has to actually get guaranteed admittance because otherwise, why would they host? It's a benefit of being the host. The other 8 groups, the winners will qualify for Eurobasket alongside the best 4 second-place countries, which would get Eurobasket to the 16 teams you actually need for Eurobasket. All right, one thing to note about the qualifiers is that all games involving Israel have been postponed until February. They were scheduled to play Ireland and Latvia this month. And so far, after 2 games, Spain, Hungary, Lithuania, Sweden, France, Turkey, Serbia, and Montenegro, and Italy are leading their groups. Now, for WNBA fans, you might hear some familiar names of those who are playing in Eurobasket. Former Indiana Fever player Betty Hattar, Minnesota Lynx Dorka Juhas, both play for Hungary. Dorka is starting for Hungary and so far is averaging 9 points and 7 rebounds. And Betty is slowly still recovering from injury, and she is coming off the bench. For Team Belgium, that features former Sky players Emma Mieseman and Julie Alleman. Julie is starting and so far averaging 6 points a game and 7 assists. And Emma is also starting, averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now, real quick side note about this Belgium team. They really came in the qualifiers as the best team. And surprisingly, they fell to a surprising defeat against Poland. Now, Poland beat them 67-62. And I've said this for women's college basketball. And I'm saying the same thing for Eurobasket. Even the best teams, y'all, can get got. Y'all got to be on y'all A game because these teams are not afraid. Even in Eurobasket, Poland was not afraid to play Belgium. And look, they beat them. They played their butts off and they made it happen. Y'all, I highly recommend y'all watch this Poland versus Belgium game. You can actually watch the full game on YouTube. I will put a link in the description below. Team France features Dallas Wings, Lou Lopez-Seneschal, Ileana Rupert of the Atlanta Dream, Katie Sissoko of the Phoenix Mercury. Maureen Johannes isn't currently on the team. She's probably just getting some well-deserved rest or something. So I wouldn't put too much into it why she isn't with the team because she, of course, played in Eurobasket before, but she's just not with the team right now. Lou Lopez-Seneschal is currently averaging 4 points for France. Katie hasn't played much and is averaging less than a point and 2 rebounds. And Ileana Rupert is starting and averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. All right, moving on to Team Italy. Now, they have just one player who played in the WNBA, Lorella Kubai, who had a brief stint with the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty. Lorella is starting and averaging 12 points and 10 rebounds, along with 4 assists for Italy. And finally, we have Team Germany, who features 2 sisters, Satu Sabali of the Dallas Wings and Niara Sabali of the New York Liberty. Satu is averaging 16 points and 6 rebounds, and Niara is averaging 14 points, 11 rebounds, and both players are starting for Germany. Now, if y'all want to watch any of the qualifier games, you can watch them all on FIBA's YouTube channel. All right, y'all. We are a week into women's college basketball, and it's been fireworks so far. And because of that, we are introducing Quita's Power 6 rankings. This is a chance for us to take a look at the hottest 6 teams in the country. And like Stephen A. Smith says, this list is fluid. And it's based on what teams have done recently and not necessarily the players on their roster. So sort of keep that in mind as we go down this list. All right, guys, starting at number 6, we got, boom, the Women of Troy at USC. Why? Well, because the Trojans got that girl. Her name is Juju Watkins. If you don't know, now you know. Now, this girl single-handedly just about beat number 7 ranked Ohio State. She had 32 points in this game and some really nice defense. And guys, remember, she's just a freshman, y'all. Can you imagine 2, 3, 4 years from now how good she's going to be? And correction there, no, she didn't single-handedly beat USC because USC got some players, y'all. They got a big one. Woman in the middle. Her name is Raya Marshall. And she's taking names. And hey, if you coming against her in the paint, you better watch out because this girl, she could play some defense and she got some offense for y'all. In that game against Ohio State, she had 17 rebounds and 18 points. Now, that's pretty impressive. All right, y'all. USC is very good, and y'all better be ready to play them because they coming. Actually, they ain't coming. They here. So watch out for USC. At number 5, we got, boom, them girls at NC State. And why? Well, because they beat the number 2 team in the country in UConn. And if you beat the number 2 team in the country, you are making Quita's Power 6 list, y'all. Now, again, as I said earlier, this list is fluid. Do I think that NC State is the number 5 team in the country? No, I don't. But this week, yes, they have proven themselves to be the number 5 team in the country because they beat the Goliath that is UConn. NC State has Sanaya Rivers, Isaiah James. These girls are the real deal, y'all. And if this game against UConn is any indication, we gonna see Sanaya Rivers, Isaiah James, NC State for months and months to come until the tournament, because they some ballers. And if they beat UConn the way they beat UConn, y'all better check out for NC State. All right, going on to number 4, we got, boom, Colorado. Why? Well, because when you beat the defending champs and the number 1 team in the country, you're getting in Kuya's Power 6 list. Again, Colorado is a legit team that's made up of players who are not afraid of nobody. And they show LSU that they ain't afraid of them at all. They got players like their motor, Jalen Sherrod, who just is a straight up baller. She just is. She controls the floor. She's great. They have 3-point assassin Frida Foreman, and they got the big girl in the middle, Aaronette Vonleh, y'all. Colorado is legit, and they got a coach in J.R. Payne who knows how to put out a really good game plan and have her team execute it, y'all. Colorado is here. I know there's a lot of Colorado Buffalo men's football hype because of Deion Sanders, but y'all, this Colorado women's team, they here. And in Colorado fashion, they got a Sanders. Yes, she ain't gonna play that much, but hey, they got a Sanders on the name of their back. Colorado, they legit. They come in at number 4, y'all. Going on to number 3, y'all. We got, boom, them UCLA Bruins. And why do we have them? Well, because they're a talented team that took care of business this week, in a week where other top teams could not. Did they play the most talented teams this past week? No, they didn't at all. But this team is a very talented team. They're ranked for the AP at number 4. They didn't do anything crazy, so that's why they're still in the power rankings for this week. They have players like Lauren Betts, Charisma Osborne, Kiki Rice that are looking pretty good right now. And I just can't imagine how they're going to look months and months down the line. They're going to be pretty good. And y'all, if you don't know, now you know, UCLA is playing UConn on November the 24th, so make sure y'all set y'all DVRs, because whoever wins this game is for sure going to be on that week's power ranking list. So you'll feat yourself with thank you if you DVR that game and watch it. All right, now we are just going down the list. Now we're going to number 2. So who we got for number 2? Is it South Carolina? Is it Iowa? It is them Iowa Hawkeyes. And Iowa came into this season ready to play, y'all. They made it to the championship game last year, and they want y'all to know it's not a fluke. Sure, one of their games against Northern Iowa, and that game didn't mean that much because the team wasn't very good. But y'all, they played an amazing game against Virginia Tech, number 8 team in the country, and they put everyone on notice that it is Caitlin Clark world, and we are just living in it. We're just living in it, y'all. Iowa's entire offense is wrapped around Caitlin Clark. She does get her other teammates involved, but it really is a Caitlin show. She played all 40 minutes in that Virginia Tech game. And y'all, even though Caitlin Clark can shoot out the gym, she was amazing. Eventually, this is going to catch up to this team where they're going to need other players to step up. So for now, it's Caitlin Clark's world. We're living in it. So Iowa at number 2 for this week. Now on to number 1. You probably guessed it. It is those girls at South Carolina. And why? Well, because they did their thing this week. They handled business. Y'all, they went all the way to Paris to visit the Eiffel Tower, to sightsee, all that amazing stuff. And they came to demolish number 10 Notre Dame, which they did. And then they come back to the States. And then, y'all, they destroy Maryland, y'all. 114-76. South Carolina is a dangerous team. And Don Staley wants you to know that they are not here to play with y'all. They are the hunting and not the hunted. So, y'all better be on y'all A game when y'all playing South Carolina, because they got the blocking queen, Camila Cardoso, in the paint. You got Malaysia Fulwiley, a player that can just straight up jump out the gym and is a walking highlight reel. They can have coming off the bench. And also they got Tahina Pow who can just shoot. So what more could you want? South Carolina has just about everything. And they are looking like they might be even better than last year. who knows? This team is looking really good, and I don't know who can stop them. So right now, we got South Carolina as our number 1. Guys, that is the list. What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you hate this list? Do you love this list? Let me know. And again, remember, this list is fluid, and it's based off of the schedule so far. So next week, we will see what happens. Maybe some of these teams are on it. Maybe some teams are not on it next week. But y'all, happy women's college basketball season to everyone who celebrates. All right, y'all, that is the video. I thank y'all so much for watching this week's episode of Women's Basketball Weekly. I hope y'all learned something. I hope this was informative. I hope that it was kind of entertaining. Let me know your thoughts about this episode in the comments below. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. That would be really, really awesome, and it really helps bring more people to this channel. If y'all haven't subscribed to this channel yet, if y'all could please do that, that would be awesome. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers, y'all, and y'all, I have a lot of people who have been watching lots of videos, and I can tell from the analytics, but those same people haven't subscribed yet. So if you're one of those people who have been watching a bunch of videos and have not subscribed, I ask you that today you choose this day to subscribe to the Quita Love Sports channel. Y'all are amazing. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. And I do want to just say that I wish you all a happy women's college basketball season to everyone who celebrates. Until next time, guys. Bye.